Sup Shredders, my name is Logan, aka Spiderhands, and welcome to this Patrons video today for a custom monthly music review that I'm making for Call Me Hehe of a track by an act by Hitorie titled 3 minutes 29 seconds. And if we switch over to here, I think this has been the most time-specific song I've checked out before. We're going to listen through this track from start till finish. I'm going to hear what we think as well, and we've also got lyrics kindly provided by Call Me Hehe translations so that we check them out after this. But let's go. Dude, this slaps. The finesse for the drumming, the guitaring and the bass playing, as well as the vocals. The head voice, he went in so effortlessly. This is phenomenal. And these jazzy chord progressions are phenomenal, dude. They're so tight. They're just a three-piece. Sorry. Dude, this is so funky, I can't help but dance to it. This is a treat. I've had a hell of a day today. It's been really rough, and someone is looking down on me from above and going, at least Logan, you deserve to review 3 minutes 29 seconds today. That bass line is so frenetic. Can you it's so complex whilst remaining a song. What? And these really screechy kind of swingy modulated synths are a fun little... No, wait, hang on, no, is he using his guitar there? Because I'm hearing just the bass and drums for that bit when I explore the fretboard. Is he using a pitch shifter on his guitar? My lord. Dude, it's 3 people. They're another level, dude. Solo section, apparently. It's just solo time. Noise rock. I'm gonna be listening to a lot of Hitorie after this. You can be damn sure of that, my lord. Call Me Hehe, you have done me a blessing today. I didn't know I could fall in love so quickly. The talent, man. And they're just going into swing triplet beats, and they're just grooving with the drums and the bass, and his falsetto is so effortless. And with what I understand about music, I know how difficult the soul is, and it's just wild, man. And the production. Dude. Bum 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 bum. It's not a super complicated bass line and chord progression, but it's all the crazy stuff that's going on in addition to it, you know? It's these octave lead passages on top. And these little 16th note ghost notes he does in between the 30 seconds. We don't deserve this. We don't deserve to have a band like this exist, man, especially at their age. This is the future of rock and roll, man. This is like the perfect way of explaining to someone that just because you're playing a lot of notes doesn't mean it's bad. I mean, we've still got the lyrics to go through. Thank you again to Call Me Hee Hee for these lyrics. No matter how hard I beg or plead, they won't change. These flowers will only be trampled on. Where we're not wanting to change our opinion on it, you know? We're not going to forget that voice. And we're not going to forget the memories either. I'm watching you. And don't worry, we'll always do the same thing. You stand on the sidelines, renouncing, pretending not to see. I think maybe this is talking about someone who maybe will never let like the terrible times that occurred die. You know, like they don't want to be stood on by someone more powerful or someone they don't like or whatever. They're going to remain defiant and resilient about it. And they're keeping an eye on the people who see all the wrongdoing and the misery in the world and do nothing about it. And they're always going to continue to try and do what they need to do. We'll always do the same thing. We're always going to continue to fight for what we believe in. That's basically what I think the song's about. Because this is the conclusion of my review of Hitorie's 3 minutes 29 seconds. One of the most insane, crazy tracks I've heard this year. Dude, I cannot communicate how impressed I am. It's just, I'm still processing it, how they managed to come up with all this kind of stuff. But to emphasize, I think we've talked about what the story is about. You know, it's about people who are struggling with authority. They see bad things going on. They are pissed off because things won't change. They see people who do nothing about it, and they're going to keep track of them, and they will continue to fight for what they believe in. That's my take of it. 3 minutes 29. The song title is succinct. It's a message they want to communicate. It's catchy as hell. The singing is absolutely flawless. The guy's got a sensational way of approaching that side of things. You know, his voice sits well above the rest of the instruments in the mix. But it's got a like a body to it. He's just naturally that high with his range, so it elevates himself among the drums and the bass and stuff and guitar parts so eloquently and easily. And he's kind of like the dream vocalist. He's kind of like the vocalist you want to have in this kind of music where there's that complexity. You don't want to have someone in that lower octave where they'll get bundled in with the guitars and there'll be a complete messy, muddy kind of mess. It's a beautiful thing, really. The legato, vibrato, ornamentation passages here, the expressions and the originality and uniqueness of his tone, and just how avid and excited and charismatic the singer is, and he's playing guitar as well. Like, the structure of the track, you know, it had lots of different grooves and fills, and it went to some jazzy sections. It was the closest thing I can compare it to was Protest the Hero Sequoia Throne, which is a progressive metal piece. And arguably Sequoia Throne is, you know, compositionally more technical because it's friggin' insane. But for the genre, the stuff I've heard from places like Japan and stuff, this here is up here. I think this kind of jazz rock, noise rock kind of thing that they've got going on over there is so cool. And I want to hear more of it, and 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 more of it. I want to hear more of it. I'm really eager to hear more of it. I cannot stress that enough. I found a new favorite genre of music. Dude, I'm so glad to have come across this today. The instrumental performances were flawless. Don't even get me to try and find fault with what they were doing there with those insane drum fills. The techniques, the jazz rock kind of 16 note, the buzz rolls and the flams and all that kind of stuff and the fills and the bass player literally used his entire friggin' fretboard. He's all over the place, dude. He shouldn't even be there, and he was. And part of that is because the vocalist was sitting above him, and the vocalist knew that the bass could play the guitar and the bass parts because he's just friggin' insane. And it's just something else entirely. And the guitar parts, the little sweeps, and then the wee, and then like the kind of solo sections and stuff like that were inspirational, dude. It wasn't like a massive shred solo like I was expecting. It was like a voice of frustration and fear and anguish, and it was so visceral and raw, and it was so well directed. And my goodness, what an absolute banger of a track. What a banger of a track, man. What an absolute banger of a track. And the production. Don't even get me started on the production, because the production was friggin' extreme. Like, That's just, it's damn near flawless. This is as close as I can get to a perfect song. I would have to be able to understand the lyrics natively to understand the inflections and emotional gravitas and weight of the songs. But I can't fault this track, man. It's just, it's the perfect personification of the groove and influences that they vibe with. And they're the future, man. They're the future. You know, if you are not producing and writing stuff to that level, just don't. I mean, like, obviously, like, write it, but don't release it until you know you can keep up. The world of the music, future music is so bright. So bright. The EQing, stereo panning, compression, effects, instruments, change on different instruments, the notching of them, the leveling and glowing of the instruments, the EQ, limiting compression was just flawless. It's the... And just the squealy synthesizers that happened occasionally that shouldn't be musical, but they were because of the frenetic lunacy of the track. I can't fathom it. But this was my SP Patrons review of Hitorie's 3 minutes 29 seconds. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go show Hitorie some love via their various social medias and their YouTube pages. And stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time. As you get the hell more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I will catch you in the next review, dude. I love it. Catch you next week Patrons video. Spider hands out.